Clubhouse as a communication tool, which is really nothing more than a conference call. It's really the way in which you use it because it's just a conference call. So, but there is this like green bean thing, or the point is, most of the communication here is entertainment. It's not educational. And so categorically, uh, people, it's just like going to a movie theater. You think a movie is real while you're sitting there, in your mind's eye, but you come to Clown House and it's a little bit of the same experience, or at least neurochemically, it's the same experience. So I'm just saying that, I've read a lot of poetry in here. I like to break into rooms and say, hey, can I read a 60-second poem? Because that,
No, we're not doing that.
no, and I'm not trying to do that here, but I'm saying that that's one way for me to essentially break free from what I would call like a matrix trap, a fisher's net, a spider's web. So as the green bean, you're technically, the fisherman or the spider catching flies or fish. So I'm just saying that.
That's not what I'm doing. Yeah, so if you think that that's what I'm doing, I think that you have a very myopic view of my intentions on this app. And a lot
No,
of
it's not you. I'm saying everybody.
I would agree with you that some people's intentions on this app are to do that very thing, but I would not go as far as to say that seems to be like the general consensus, right? I would say that a lot of people come on this app because they genuinely want to have conversations, exchange ideas. They want to be understood. Like, one of my biggest frustrations is that I don't feel like, there are a good number of people on this app that do understand me and my positions, but there's a lot of people that I've been talking to for the last 3 years who either are incapable of actually processing what I'm actually saying, or I don't know what the intent, I don't know.
Well,
some people I question because of the level of their education. There's some people out here that have some high levels of education, but they still fundamentally misunderstand my position, even though I've been talking with them for the last 3 years. But then I'll talk to somebody who has never been to college that completely understands what I'm saying. But I think it's very strange, that we live in, or not live, but that a lot of people that participate on this app, there's a wide variety of levels of education and what people's intents are. Like, I wouldn't just go as far as to say that everybody's intent on this app is to come on here and be a clown.
No, of course not.
Like to put it.
But do you really think that you can pass enough information off to somebody to convince them of your position? It's not like you're giving them a 100-page PDF to review.
Yeah,
you're doing a short form verbal communication.
I have.
Yeah, maybe over 3 years.
There's people on this app who didn't think about what my position were until I presented it to them. And I don't know if I've changed anybody's view as far as theists go, but I have a lot of theists. Actually, it's funny because I have more theists than atheists coming to me and talking to me in the back channel or coming to the other rooms and telling me that I give them something to think about, even though they haven't changed their view or their minds. And that's really all that matters to me. If I can have a conversation with somebody and have this and just be understood. Just being understood is like very important to me, right? If I ask somebody to steal my position and they just don't quite put it into words that I would say like conveys or is representative of what I'm trying to convey, then I get frustrated very easily on this app. And that's kind of one of my issues where I need to get better at. I need to stop letting other people's inability to understand my position get the better of me and frustrate me. And that's where I need to work.
Well, I'm just wondering that I don't think anything will get resolved from this app for anyone personally unless they come on here and do education. Otherwise, you're actually like talking about nothing.
That's if that's your view, that's fine. You can have that view. I think that part of being on this app is we are presenting education. Like, a lot of the times people say something, I'm like, wait a minute, did you consider, X, Y, Z information when you made that statement? And then the same goes for me. Sometimes I'll say something and somebody will say something to me, and it's like, I didn't even consider that. And so it's something that I have to add into my way of thinking at that point, right? And I would rather learn something than try to teach people.
Well, what do you call the space beyond words?
The space beyond words. So you're talking just about like imagination?
No, I'm talking about like in my brain. I have control over my thoughts, my feelings, my speech, my actions, and hopefully the outcomes.
I don't agree with you there. It depends on what you mean by you have control. It's like, I am a determinist, so are you not?
No, I'm saying that I think there's like higher levels of intelligence in the brain that you can essentially tap into, but I think they actually deal mostly. I think that
What does that mean?
it's like gigahertz. It's like gigahertz in a computer. You know how computers have improved over years and gigahertz have
You're just
increased?
talking about processing power. I wouldn't call that more intelligence. I would just call that processing power.
Well, I'm saying that as computers have advanced, the human brain has also advanced.
I would agree as far as selection goes. Like generally, more intelligent people find other people that are just as intelligent than them or more, and so you've got this system where selective pressures, people that probably part of your intelligence is probably due to your genetics, right? And so if intelligent people are having sex with other intelligent people and having kids, odds are, as far as I'm aware of, whatever genes is partially responsible for their intelligence is going to get passed on, right? And who knows, there might be a mutation in there where
but that's like discounting all
intelligence is improving.
But how can you're just totally discounting environment and books and education and experience. Primarily I'm talking education.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not disregarding that at all. Obviously it's going to take more than 100 years for
have you seen the movie Gattaca?
To make a large impact, right? Yes, I have. I'm just saying that it's going to take more than 100 years for selection practice to make such a large impact that over the last 100 years, we've basically gone from just learning how to fly.
Okay, so
obviously now we're doing not interstellar, but interplanetary travel, right? Like we're about to start traveling to Mars here pretty soon, probably within the next decade. I'm hoping.
So wait, let me ask you one final question. This deals with willpower or the power of the will, /genetics. So I'm just wondering, like, if there is no God, do you think that people who think there is a God are essentially, in a way, they're doing self-analysis about the self? So they're really talking about will to power or the Holy Spirit, which is like an X factor in the brain that people think could somehow help them achieve their desires, to obtain power or whatever their desire is. Are people using an X factor or a variable holder in their brain to essentially do an algorithm, to achieve what their goal is? Like, is that essentially why people think there's a God? Because they're using their brain in like a three-dimensional way?
Was I on mute the whole time?
I didn't hear you talking when I came in.
No, you've been on mute.
I was talking to myself. So yeah, I think that a lot of what you said was a bit semantic woo-woo, right? And this kind of gets to the crux of my position. And I guess we can start talking about it now if you'd like. But basically my position is that I think that all theists This is an inference to the best explanation, given the data that I have. Every interaction with a theist that I have, it leads me to this position that all theists are being predisposed to a story that they read, and then they form their own concepts in their own mind about what they've read, or in audio form, like some people are told the story.
I guess you can complain about that too.
The man who says he believes in science doesn't like statistics.
If you don't care about black people, you shouldn't care about our crime rates. Go worry about your crime rates in your neighborhood.
Who said I don't care about black people? And why does caring about black people mean that you can't talk
Go
about that?
clean up the crime in your neighborhood.
We do.
Listen,
We don't create.
Why is it still taking place?
criminals.
So why is it still taking place?
We don't create statues.
Why is this still taking place? Why do you still have crime in the white community if you're taking care of it?
We demonize them and we create laws.
But it still has it. It still has it, right?
That's why you talking
And
to
what
this dirty gypsy. Why?
Yeah, so there you
Why
go.
you
But
even give us any fucking
none of this is relevant to the
anytime.
fact.
He is
I
a
feel like
dirty
reading.
gypsy.
None of this is relevant
I
to
didn't.
the
Nobody
fact
want to hear you, Alan.
that the
First of all, you
effectiveness
slow.
of the
And
COVID
nobody
vaccine
want to hear you,
is
Grandpa.